So we'll be discussing the perennial MRT issues, the consistent or the persistent MRT issues, issue on same-sex marriage, issue on intellectual property violation, backlog of court cases, issue on jail and prison congestions. So let's start. Perennial MRT issues or the persistent issues regarding MRT. What is MRT? The Manila Metro Rail Transit System or MRT is one of the two rapid transit systems serving Metro Manila in the Philippines, along with the Manila Light Rail Transit System or the LRTA or LRT. So dagang issues about MRT for those who've been to Manila, they were able to, or we were able to experience this. So there has been abundance of news reports about the glitches, accidents, and all sorts of problems and issues regarding the Metro Rail Transit Line 3 that serves EDSA Metro Manila's main artery. So some of the issues and problems are a coach was detached from the train body, kadlok. A diaper was hanging on the electric wire, causing the train to stop. Doors failing to close or open. Overcrowding. Failure of air conditioning system. Delay in train's departure and arrival. The government officials, train operators, maintenance personnel in the country where the train was bought blame each other for the train's failure to operate properly. So how soon will the MRT and other electric operated trains run smoothly and conveniently? Dagan gyapon kaayo magamit sa MRT because makasave sila sa traffic and barato ra ang pamilite. But then again, dagang issues. So instead of malate, dili ka sulod because of MRT issues. Dagang complaints ang taga Manila. Next, issue on same-sex marriage. So same-sex marriage is the union between couples of the same gender, be it the union of both men and both women. Same-sex marriage is already allowed in the USA and in some European countries. In the Philippines, it is not yet legalized, but there are the LGBT groups are proposing it in our country. So President Duterte, what is his view with regard to same-sex marriage? So on December 17, 2017, during his speech in the LGBT community gathering in Davao City, he was okay with he wants to allow the same-sex marriage, and he said, "I want same-sex marriage. The problem is we'll have to change the law, but we can change the law." And then he also said, the law provides that marriage is a union between a man and a woman. I don't have any problem in making it marrying a man, marrying a woman, or whatever is the predilection of the human being. But on his statement previous month, March 2017, he cited the family code that states marriage only allows between a man and a woman. So dili magpareho. As of June 21, 2018, the same-sex marriage issue is being heard by the Supreme Court. And meanwhile, President Duterte favored civil union than same-sex marriage. Let's go to issue on intellectual property violation. So what is intellectual property? Just like in this cartoon, here's my new invention. Oh, it looks like mine. So who came first? Intellectual property refers to those written documents or sources which are produced by the owner's mental ability and skills. So, creation of something, a product, a document, a speech, or music, or any art is and yahana that is from the owner's mental ability and skills. That is that person's intellectual property. But when these properties are copyrighted, meaning plagiarized, kung speech, di copy, or documents, di copy, plagiarized, copied, reproduced, just like the books, di reproduced and sold for profit, na dili sa owner, lahi ang nagpahimulos, by someone without the copyright owner permission, that is a violation of the copyright law. So the same with sa YouTube, diba? It's you cannot just upload or this video, you cannot upload this video in YouTube because you can be that is a violation of the intellectual property. And again, you can be sued for that. So some students copy books, journals, magazines to form a part of their, even just a part of their term paper and research projects. Likewise, some instructors sell photocopied books as handouts to their students or profit, especially if they profit from it. It's a violation of a copyright law. Today, the Philippines is trying to hit intellectual property rights issues head on, but in a different way. The focus lately has been on the implementation of new IP rights legislation or intellectual property rights in order to protect the results obtained in laboratories funded by the government. So, mga laboratories say gagamaok like government-funded laboratories na create o medicine for COVID-19. So they are under the IP rights regulation. So under this, the Philippine Technology Transfer Act of 2009 actually was released in May 2012. The result is that research and development institutions that are running their laboratories are now granted intellectual property ownership of the results, provided the research has been funded by the government. So if these laboratories created something and they are funded by the government, automatic that they have the intellectual property rights. So no one can copy their invention. This is to protect the potential exploitation of the efforts made by the individual scientists. So lisod po kayo ng ikaw ga research, ikaw gama, dayon kopyahon ra sa uban. Right? And next is backlog of court cases. Dagang kayong backlog of court cases. Why the administration of justice by the court is such a delicate and serious task and not an ordinary chore of business. So passing a judgment upon a person involving their rights and fortunes, determining their innocence and guilt that may even affect their lives, honor, and freedom are of such grave responsibility to the court. So it's the whole person. Dili siya dali-dali just in a snap. They can create the judgment or they can conclude a judgment to that person. In the administration of justice, there is no assurance that all justices and judges will discharge duties of their office impartially and free from pressure and influence because the legal qualification of the justices and judge are not God-given. So naay especially if kanang tao is kuan bugat bugat nga tao, politician or bigatin business dagkong kwarta, so maglisod ang prosecutor. Some of them may be subservient to one administration. So there's no justice kinaay gipaboran na politiko after another or cater to the influence of an litigant after another, etc., which might affect the independence of the judiciary. So naay gipaboran because kuan siyang kapapungko dira sa posisyon. And one example of that is the quo warranto against the former Supreme Court Chief Justice Lourdes Sereno. Now, she has been in the news before. According to her, the decision of many of the Supreme Court justices was under the influence of Duterte. So again, ay ipalabihan. Backlog of court cases. According to the report of the National Statistical Coordination Board, the Philippine judiciary face serious difficulties as lower courts are congested with over 1 million cases every year. 1 million, imagine ha, 1 million every year. There's only 365 days in a year. Pila ka buok in a day ning 1 million cases. Divide by 365. Grabe. Lower courts are continuously confronted with a heavy volume of caseloads due to lack, transfer, and illness of judges to litigate the cases. Wala kaayoy judges. Postponement and delaying tactics of lawyers para dagang kwarta somehow, unavailability of respondents, and resignation of judges and other reasons. So these are the reasons nga ano pong daghang caseloads. And issue on jail and prison congestions in relation to the backlog of cases. Dagan kaayong tao, dagan kaayong congested ang jail and prison. Okay, wala pa'y verdict if they are guilty or not. The country's jails are overwhelmed by 511%, according to the Commission on Audit on 2017. In ani ang 511% ang biya instead of the unsay allowed. So as of December 31, 2016, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology has a total jail population of 126,946, which exceeded the ideal capacity of 20,746. So, mura ni ang ideal capacity sa Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Pero 126 kabuok ang naa, having a variance of muna ang 100 extra 106,200. Muna ang sukapin. So total average of 511% of congestion, overcrowding, or clogging. The overcrowding in the country's jails violates the BGMP, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology's own manual on habitat, water, sanitation, and kitchen in jails, as well as the United Nations minimum standard rules for the treatment of prisoners. Supposedly, the ideal habitable floor area for each inmate is 4.7 square meters. An ideal nga per cell is 10. Pero wala. The COA noted that the congestion ideal is 10. But look at this. This is one cell. And pila man nakabok sila? Almost 50 plus or 100. No? It's supposed to be 10 na nakay 4.7 square meters raman na. So these are the issues of the congestions, health and sanitation problems, increased gang affiliations of inmates,